Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At Home Dad Network. My name is Brock,
My name is Danny.
and we are here to talk about life as stay at home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight. Got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet. Cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. Preemptive Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa. I think I don't have any others that I know of other than that. Happy Crumpus. No, that's not it.
Mary Chrysler.
Merry Chrysler. Okay.
And happy
That's
Honda Days.
Oh, okay.
Which, just so you know, everybody out there knows the joke. We are a happy Honda Days family.
Okay. I've never heard those before.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
All right.
it's a good one.
Someone else probably is also saying the same thing. I've never heard those before, but I like them. I like them a lot. Well, hey, this is gonna be just a fun show where we're gonna talk about Christmas music and Christmas movies, and just really just reminisce. Maybe get into an argument or two, because we know everybody likes to argue about movies, especially during Christmas season.
Right. You can argue about something. You can't argue about the stuff you really want to argue about because that'll just ruin Christmas. But you can argue about the stupid stuff.
True, exactly. Yeah. Just turn it into a big old Reddit thread, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody gets their chance to take a punch at the inflatable elf across the street.
Yeah. Which
Do you just have ditto? By the way, do you just have ditto across the street from them?
No, but I will say I would like to talk about decorations and what you have up and what have you, because we keep our Christmas lights, and they're just lights at this point, up all year. And I used to think how very trashy redneck that is, and it was when we did it.
No, you're just telling your neighbors that you're old. That's all.
That's it, and it's cold, and even
or that too.
Younger people than me have said, no, I leave them up all year. It's not worth it. And we have the orchestra of lights; they're programmable. We don't have a lot of them. Right. We have now 3 strings because they're expensive and we buy like 1 new string a year. So by the time I have grandchildren, I'll have probably a front house done of lights, windows and everything. But it's amazing. I really it's not enough. We do have some projectors that I'm going to put up just for, just to shine like Merry Christmas and
find your way from your car to the house because it's so dark.
Yes. My word, man. I'm still not used to that. And I told myself,
is that a spotlight or a flashlight?
Yeah. And it's hilarious because we have a lot of people here, of course, that get up very early in the morning. They want to get up at, 5 o'clock and they want to get up and they get out and they go to work or whatever. And that's cool. And I'm good with, first thing in the morning. I'm a first thing in the morning kind of person. I'm not fun or nice or loving first thing in the morning, but I do wake up early. Right. But I look around and there's just certain houses that always turn their lights on and leave their lights on, their outside lights. And we're in a very, very dark area because we're away from any, major towns or cities and what have you. And every time I get up in the morning, and I've been getting up, unfortunately, very early, 4:30. And I think, oh, is the moon out? Is it a full moon? Well, maybe it snowed because, when it snows and the moon's out, it's all bright outside and I can see it through the curtains that, oh, there's light. It must be, it must be the moons. And I love the moon. So I'm going to open the window. No, it's ding dong spotlight shining right at my house. And I'm like, man, angle that thing down, just down like 10 degrees.
It's the Griswolds.
It is.
It's the Griswolds, man.
Do you have any Griswolds in your neighborhood?
Actually, yeah, I got a guy that's just like a couple doors and catty corner down from us who he really goes all out. And I appreciate it, honestly. And he's always done it. He used to do it. So his father passed away a couple of years ago, and he would decorate the house just because so his dad could see it. And then
nice.
He continued it on afterwards. And he puts up all kinds of lights. He's got a few inflatables, but it's mostly just like traditional Christmas lights. So
yeah, I love it. We've got several people in the neighborhood, and not really in my neighborhood, but in the town that are, beyond Griswold. They are just They are just, I mean, like, how do you even get out of your house? There's so many lights and decorations, and it's just, and again, I love it. I want it to be cluttered. I wanted there to be so many things there. I just want it to be like, oh
Oh,
my God, you can't even, there's so many things going on. And
you
I
would love the
love it.
house in the neighborhood over from us because I think that they have just since birth collected every single plastic mold Christmas like thing, and it's nuts. And they've got things I've never seen before,
Baller.
and their entire yard is fenced in. And I kid you not, there is not a like 5 inches of space that isn't covered by some character. And I'm just like, that's a lot of old school light bulbs you got in there
Commitment.
because there's no
Yeah.
LED lights in any
Right?
of
Oh
those,
yeah, yeah. All those
and
incandescents.
the electric box is just spinning, just like in National Lampoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, like, and there's another house because there's sometimes news stations, that's what they do this time of year is they try to find like all the like
Mhm.
elaborate stuff. There's a guy that he's got tons of inflatables up all over the place, including like the not, what is it, like the 20-foot tall like Rudolph and all that kind of craziness. Like, I mean, I don't think you can see his house. Like, it's all
As it should
inflatables.
be. As it should be.
Yeah. So that's another one.
They're great unless the power's off. And it's just depressing.
Yeah, I like the ones though. So talking about music, I like when they can get it to go with a radio station or something that you
Hmm.
can actually and it goes with it.
Yes.
Especially the ones that have just the lights and it's like a light
Hmm.
show. So like you literally can just like park and hear it.
Yes.
Those are
Yes.
impressive to me. Like somebody knows they got some coding in them. They know what's
Yeah.
up.
And I will say, I don't think I could do that. Well, I don't think I have the time and the commitment to make that happen. But if I was made of money, I would absolutely have that. That would be to me, that's the pinnacle to me of decorating. And again, use the LED lights that you can leave up all year. So
Yeah.
that the house itself, because houses, if you get it, well, like for anything you do, we're having a party. Okay, well, which house is yours? I'm the one with the lights.
Yep.
And you don't have to do all of them, but the fact that you can get it going with your Christmas songs, yeah, that's just
Yeah.
beautiful. Beautiful.
There's a house
Jealous.
out by where Corey grew up where you would drive up their lane and there were just tons. It was like his own drive-through Christmas show thing. It's like it had music, like he had a sign, like tunes to the
Awesome.
station, and you drive up the hill and there's all kinds of stuff. And when you get to the top of the hill, because he has an alarm at the bottom that goes ding to his house, because I mean it's the country and that's a lot of times big lanes have those. And so he'll walk out with a bucket that has little candy canes in it, and you stop and he
Nice.
gives them to everybody in there, and then you just drive down the other side and
That's
take off.
awesome.
And I'm like,
That's
this is
cool.
fantastic.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And thank you, whoever you are, sir, for providing that for us. Because, man, that's got to be a commitment. A lot of work.
Right?
A
Yeah.
lot of
I
work.
That's part of it though. It's a passion
Hmm.
thing. Like I know so my grandfather when he was around would always decorate the house. Like to the point where I mean, so talking about like the old mold plastic figures, he had an entire Santa Claus and eight tiny reindeer with like the lines with the bells and everything. So like when it was windy, like they would jingle jangle and all that.
Yeah.
And he had basically fixed them to a couple of long boards so that
Hmm.
like he could separate it, but it's like one line reindeer and the other side, like four and four, and then the sled, and then basically like it went on the roof in an
Oh,
up
yeah.
in an upward like he was
Yeah.
all about it. Like I remember multiple years going over there. It'd be me, my dad, and my brother helping him put Christmas lights up, especially the one on the roof. Um, but like that kind of thing is a big memory to me, just going over and helping him like decorate. And his house was kind of one of those quintessential houses you had to drive by every year.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fantastic. I love it. We would have, and I don't know, I'm sure they have something similar somewhere near us, but down in Georgia, they had it at Lake Lanier, which is the biggest lake in Georgia. And again, different place, but in Georgia, it's a big lake. Here, probably not so much. But we had the Night of Lights, and you would drive in your car, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
basically just like a park. And you drive, and again, it has the music playing. You turn your radio to the station, and and I think it was like $5 per car or something like that. It was really just to kind of cover all of their effort and what have you. But it was amazing, and we took the kids once. I'm sure they don't remember it because they were young, but I even remember it, and my memory's garbage. And I'm like, this is the most beautiful thing I've seen. So, do you prefer the old? I shouldn't say old. The style of lights that are like red and green, or do you prefer like the white clear lights?
I like colored lights for the most
Hmm.
part. I mean, white are okay, but I really enjoy just when people can manipulate the color lights. It just
Hmm.
makes it that much more, I don't know, intriguing to me. So,
Hmm.
um, and two, like you can just do so much more with it. I was one of the things while you were talking, I pulled up here, something that's not too far from where we live is Louisville, Kentucky,
Hmm.
and they probably have the most unique Christmas light drive-through that you will ever go to.
Yeah.
And it's not cheap. I will tell you that it's not cheap. I think it's like $40 a carload to go through.
Okay.
But you are literally driving through a cave under Louisville.
Ooh.
And
Oh, that
if
sounds
you're
cool.
looking for one of the most unique things to do in the United States, this has got to be it. It's called Louisville Mega Caverns, Lights Under Louisville. And like if you look this thing up, if you Google this, I guarantee your head will explode with the with just the amount of decorations of lights that are in this thing. And it's a huge cave. It's massive. And so I think it might have possibly like they call it a cavern or whatever, but or cave. But I think that it might have been like a abandoned like limestone core, like that
Hmm.
kind of deal, sort of like what the guys did kayaking
Yeah.
through. So it's similar to that, but man, it's so cool the things that are just in that space, and that whole entertainment area is actually quite unique too throughout the entire year because if you think about it, it's 56 degrees there all year round.
Hmm.
Okay. So not only do you have this lights thing going on, but like they have like bike trails, like legit serious bike trails and things like
Yeah.
that that you can do. And there's a whole like you can do like zip lining down there
Hmm.
and all kinds of stuff. It's
I looked it up and I'm like, zip lines. Yeah. Or a
yeah.
challenge course or tram ride, walking tours. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
It's a pretty neat touristic space, and I would not consider it a tourist trap at all because everything that they have in there looks like something that just piques your interest.
Right.
And like we have not had the time to get down there to it, but it's definitely on my bucket list of things to go check out. But you can tell, like you were talking about colored lights, like that
Hmm.
place, they got colored lights.
Yeah, they are committed again.
Very,
Yeah, that's pretty
very
cool. Yeah.
committed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So,
when you mentioned that, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I totally forgot. Lights under Louisville. That's
hmm yeah.
definitely the thing to check out.
LouisvilleMegaCavern.com.
Yeah.
You dads go out there and someone go see it and review it for us. Let us know what you think. Because I could do that. That's not Louisville's not far from me, really. I mean, it's like 9 hours, I think. So it's fine. We can do 9 hours, eight, nine. We're
It's
fine.
all good. Hey, for all the bourbon dads out there, I mean, it's definitely, hey, we're gonna go to Louisville and do lights under Louisville. Oh, hey, by the way, there's a couple distilleries that we could go
Right.
tour while we're down there too, honey.
Crazy how this thing worked out.
Oh my
Crazy.
goodness. Yeah, no kidding. Oh, Angel Envy and Rabbit Hole are right there in
Hmm.
Louisville. Oh, shucky darns.
Yeah. Angels envy, man. Hmm.
That's a whole nother
Love
topic.
those guys. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah. Absolutely.
Which speaking of that, so for anybody who doesn't know, it's like a little sidebar thing, but Maker's Mark, if you are so intrigued, has this really fun ambassadors program, and it costs absolutely nothing to do. You can sign up for it, and they will basically put your name on a list, and they kind of put you in this queue, and as they fill barrels, they put people's names like with the barrel. And after 6 to 8 years, you'll get an email or whatever that says, "Hey, your barrel's ready. You can come down and get a bottle of it." And you're getting a single barrel of Maker's Mark. But along that time period as well, they also basically they will send you things at Christmas time. They will give have some fun things. So like over the years, like I've gotten like free socks with like Maker's Mark logos on them and stuff like that. This year they decided to do a personalized Maker's Mark label. So it's the actual like label, sticker label that you would see on the bottle, but they allowed you to either put a message on like the space, one of the like the spaces in the middle of it, or you could put your name on there, or gift it to somebody or whatever. So I made one up that says Papa's like, what does it say? Papa's cough medicine, I think is what it says, or something like
Yeah.
that. But it's just fun stuff like that. But I mean, for them, I mean, it's, hey, okay, so we know that when we dump this barrel, we've already got people to buy it. So
Hmm.
why not do it for free? I mean, they're
Right.
going to
There.
come in and buy it anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
very
that's
cool program.
great marketing. Really is.
Hmm.
They're very good at that, and understand their customers. We know you're going to like this, so we want you to get on board with us for the next 6 or 8 years.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're not necessarily buying anything from us, you're still there, you're still responding, you're still, you're talking about us, and you probably will buy more between now and the time you get your barrel. So, yeah, that's good
Yeah,
stuff.
I would imagine
That's
most
very
people when they
smart.
go down there buy a few bottles of things
Right.
when they're
Yeah,
down there for sure. Plus the
absolutely.
tour itself down there is really cool as well. So yeah. But yeah, to digress. So Christmas music.
Yeah.
I one, do not start listening to Christmas music until Thanksgiving Day at least. Um, and I will say that probably my favorite thing is in technology for Christmas music is iHeartRadio.
Hmm.
Um, they have all these different Christmas playlists, and they're commercial free, which is awesome because like you can literally just like kind of set it and forget it.
Hmm.
And they got the classic stuff, and then they got like all the mainstream music. They've got a jazz one, which is actually kind of nice when you're just wanting to like chill out, and
Right.
you get to hear a lot of the soundtrack from Charlie Brown Christmas in there as well
Yes. Yes.
because it fits.
It is.
Um,
Yep. Perfect.
but the one that I've found that is the craziest is the Christmas rock playlist that they have, because it's artists that you would not expect to have a Christmas song to
Hmm.
have one, you know?
All right. And now are they
Like,
singing like the rock version of songs or just rockers that are singing Christmas songs that are like Christmas
yeah,
sounding?
so a lot of them are singing actual Christmas song. Like they're actually singing a song, but it's their, rhythm. Like it's their
Hmm.
music style. So that's always interesting because it kind of throws you for a loop because you're like, "Oh, I remember this being like this really classic thing." And it's like you got somebody out there like screamo like kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
deal. Um, yeah, there was one where the one that's the I will say this, there are some that make you just cringe a little bit. And you're just like, "What? No, why did you do that?" I think it was like Pat Benatar or something like that, like did one that has to do with like Christmas in America or Christmas in the USA or whatever. It's so it's so political and just like wow, like let's just like basically cut everyone else out of this whole Christmas thing and make this all about the United States. I'm like, wow. So that one always every time I hear that turn
Missing
on,
the point.
I'm just gonna wait until like I'll turn this down and we'll wait till the next song kind of deal because you can't skip through them unfortunately. But yeah, like I really enjoy that side of things.
Well, there is a playlist on Amazon Music called Thanksgiving Dinner. And I found it, I think, 2 years ago and played it on Thanksgiving. And it's mostly just seasonal music and not actual Christmas songs.
Okay.
And some of it has nothing to do with Thanksgiving or really the holidays at all, but it's more of a song that just kind of makes you feel good. when you're cooking or when you're sitting around. And again, some of it's a little slower, a little jazz, a little smooth, soothing music. It's a good variety, and I enjoy having that on in the background because it kind of, while I'm cooking and everything, it just kind of puts you in the mood to just to feel good about, being with your family and the
Heck yeah.
warmth, and the love that you feel or that you, I guess, are hoping to feel from your family.
Yeah.
How it is. So now, do
Um,
you like to sing? I think you said before you
uh,
didn't like to sing.
I don't mind singing. I'm not like a big like caroler or whatever.
Hmm.
I have my elf shirt,
Yeah.
on my elf sweater on. I definitely, you know, spreading Christmas cheer, singing loud for all to hear. Not something that's high on my list, but I mean, I'm not against it either. There are some Christmas songs that hold some nostalgia to me and always kind of like, okay, I'm not gonna cry right now because like I've got like
Hmm.
a specific memory. Um, Silent Night's a big one for me on that one.
Hmm.
We actually at church last week, they sang Silent Night, and I was like, oh man, like this is gonna be rough. Like I gotta hear this for three different services because I was running
Oh
the
yeah.
PowerPoint for it, and but at the same time too, it brings good memories. For me, it was I was a kid. I was probably my kid's age right now, actually. And my mom was the choir director at our church for Christmas services, and she
Mhm.
was really big into sign language at that time, and she taught all of us how to sign Silent Night.
Nice.
And it
That's
is a
cool.
core memory. Like I can't remember it exactly, but it's almost like my body wants to try to do it every time I hear I hear the song. Um, because the motions for it really aren't anything. They're not hard to do actually,
Hmm.
which especially for kids. And so she taught like 30 kids how to sign Silent Night for a Christmas show.
That's
But
cool.
that's probably the biggest one for me that always kind of like I'm like, oh, tearjerker. But I was gonna tell you another thing that we like to do here at the house is on YouTube. They've got all these like really cool like sort of Christmas scenes in the background with music playing and stuff. I don't know
Hmm.
if you've seen any of those or not, like
Mm-mm.
the scapes. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. Like you can do like all kinds of different themes. Like say you want like the whole sitting area of Hogwarts of the oh gosh, the Gryffindor common room with the
Hmm.
fire going, and it'll play like some of the soundtrack and Christmas music, and there's like sounds in the background, and sometimes characters walk through and stuff, which is really cool. I think there was who is the guy from Parks and Rec? He big into meat and whiskey. I can't.
Ron Swanson.
Ron Swanson, yeah. There's one with him and he's sitting there and he'll move every once in a while and like take a drink of his bourbon and stuff. It's hilarious. Like that one came out a couple years ago. But yeah, there's all kinds. I mean, Lord of the Rings is on there. There's just a bunch of different movies. We throw on that or we'll even throw on like a fireplace with like,
Yeah,
that kind of deal. But there's some
we'll do a
just really neat
fireplace
ones.
for sure. That's
Yeah.
that's always enjoyable. I was actually whining this morning because I don't have a fireplace or a wood burning stove or anything like that. So yeah, I love it. At
One
least
of
a
my
video of
favorite,
it is good.
yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do is to go over to David McMillan's house because he has a wood stove at his place. So
Yeah.
one, it feels really warm there. It smells really good there,
Hmm.
and then you get like the popping of like the logs, and it's
Hmm.
all like encased. It's not like an open fireplace. Like it's one of those that are like you throw everything in and shut the door on it.
Yeah, like a firebox. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, but that's I wish we could do. I wish I could have something like that here at the house, but we just have a like a plug-in fireplace that
Uh-huh.
heats up, and that's about it.
Same. Yeah, we have an electric, and I'm like, this is depressing. I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess, but I can't set anything on fire. Like you said, the smell, I'm missing that. I
Right?
don't
I
have
can't
to
just go
cut
roast a
wood
marshmallow
anymore.
whenever I want to.
Right. Right. I'm like, I don't even need firewood in my life. Who am I? When's the last time, even in Georgia, I always had firewood going. And now
Yeah.
it's like I live in one of the coldest places I've ever been, and we don't have a fireplace.
Yeah, his place, he's got tons of firewood there.
Yeah,
He's always splitting wood. He's got it's crazy, so definitely. But
that's my life.
for you though, music, I know Christmas has not been a big thing, and I think for some others that's probably the case. Like Christmas was not really anything in the family, for different reasons.
Hmm.
But being now that, you're a father, you got these kiddos, like Santa's involved in this stuff, and
Hmm.
your kids are getting older, so that kind of plays a part in it too. But I mean, do you have any special Christmas songs? And you mentioned something too about liking the Christmas Carol before we jumped on.
Hmm. Yeah, I will say my favorite song to hear is the Vince Guaraldi Trio, which is the Peanuts Christmas.
Heck
That,
yeah.
that dun, 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 and it just every time I hear it, I smile. I love that song. I love hearing it. And I would say I don't want to hear it all year round even, but just in the fall, and it gets that feeling. And I love listening to that song. Of course, I like to sing. I'm very loud. I like to just get it all out. And we went caroling with the Scouts
Oh,
on
cool.
Monday. Yeah, Monday night. And we went, they said, well, we're going to do bell ringing. And I'm like, oh, cool. All right. I've never done bell ringing. And so we went to one of the local grocery stores and we had almost the entire entrance blocked. I had to keep getting the boys out of the way so people could come in and out of the store. But they have a bunch of songs that they sing and they just sing it normally. And we had it at the meeting previous, like, okay, these are all the songs. Which ones do you want to sing? And we sang a lot of them. And um, there's only like one or two other people that can sing in the entirety of the troupe, but it was still good. And the kids really, you have to reach a point in your life where you're able to sing out loud in public. That is something that is just you have to be, I think, very humble
Yeah.
about your abilities. You have to be able to just sit there and go, okay, I don't care what I sound like. And for me, I don't know the words to a lot of these songs. Like I haven't ever heard the Three Kings song. And I'm like, I know it exists, and I heard like the first line in some movie at some point, but I've never really heard that song. So I don't know how it goes. I don't know the rhythm. I don't know the tempo. And I told Marcus, I said, I'm going to be singing and I'm going to make mistakes. I just want you to know I will say things that are wrong. The words may be wrong, or I don't know the beat. I just don't know how the song goes, but I'm still going to be singing very loudly. So I'm going to mess up and everybody's going to hear it. And I just want you to be aware that, because I didn't want to embarrass him. I wanted his, I don't want to say approval, but I wanted him to be okay with me getting up there and singing the wrong words.
Right.
And it was fine with him. He loved it. And he was like, "Oh, can we sing this? Can we sing this?" And a few of the kids have their own songs they wanted to sing. We had one of the scouts that was playing a saxophone
Hmm.
while with us, and it was pretty good.
Did he have curly, long, dark hair
No,
as well?
no, no, no. This is a very nice young man, but absolutely the almost perfect example of what a nerdy Boy Scout would be. Just always, he's 100% in his uniform. He's going for the Order of the Arrow. He's going for Eagle Scout soon. He leads a lot of the stuff, and his pants are always 2 inches too short. So it just kind of puts you in
Wow.
the mindset of where he's at. Very
Yeah.
dedicated, wonderful person, but yeah, kind of the nerd that I was in school.
Knows how to do
But
every
yeah,
single knot, and all that kind of thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah. And it's great though. I mean, it's again, it's a thing you're passionate about. And I've never had an opportunity to go caroling. I had a friend in Georgia who her and her husband would walk around their neighborhood and they would send out an invitation. Anybody in town that we know that wants to come out here, and we're going to be walking around caroling with our wagon full of alcohol. Basically, we're going to have all the adult drinks. We have some hot chocolate if you want to bring your kids, but we're also going to have the drinks going.
So they're pulling
And
on the whole thing of like falling off the wagon.
uh-huh, yeah, yeah. And I really wanted to do that, but it never worked out because of timing and what have you. So being able to stand out there and sing at the top of my lungs was so much fun. I felt so good when we got done. And no one kind of flinched and walked away when I started singing, so I'm assuming it wasn't that bad. I
Way to spread the Christmas cheer, sir.
Yeah, yeah. And I will say that we sing a lot of very religious songs, and then we sing a lot of just goofy songs. My favorite song to sing is Gloria, which is a very Catholic song, but just that refrain of it, or I should say that, we glow, and it's just on and you really have to dig down to get that one well and just
Yep.
like belt it out. And I loved that. And being outside, I could be as loud as I wanted. I didn't have to worry about it echoing or, kids running away because I was too loud or anything. And then we had a song that I'd never heard of, and I've never heard it on the radio. I've only heard it sung by these scouts. Okay, so I know it exists out there, but it's an old song called "Nuttin' for Christmas." Nuttin' meaning nothing.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh, that is a
have you heard of
very
that one?
old song.
Yeah,
Yes. I
yeah,
ain't getting nothing for Christmas.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
and
whole
and
song.
it was great in a way. But of course we had a lot of teenage boys that are in the troop, and nuttin' means something different now.
Yes, it
And they
does.
were laughing. I mean, what's it called? Okay, yeah. I guess it's not November anymore because of the no, not November, things goes on. And I'm just dying. I'm like, I love this song. And the kids, once they started singing it, because it talks about all of these bad things that I did, it's because I'm a kid, and then somebody told on me, and now I'm not getting anything for Christmas. So it was just kind of a life lesson of be a good person, or Santa's not bringing you anything. And okay, I understand that, but we need to change the name. It was
So
hilarious.
so that was a song, I'm Getting Nuttin' for Christmas
Hmm.
by Shirley Temple was the
Was it
original singer.
really?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Um
I love
I
Shirley Temple.
I remember hearing this song for the first time. So I didn't
What
know it was
year?
Shirley Temple either. It was, I mean, Shirley Temple was back in the day.
Right?
Um, let's see here. I don't
40s,
know.
50s, maybe?
I pulled it up on Spotify, so I don't know if it'll actually show me the year of it. I mean, probably the 40s easily. But the thing with for me is that there is this song is actually connected to a character like a cartoon character from the like Looney Tunes or whatever, like the old school uh, cartoons. And I believe it's a mouse, like a little mouse that's singing the song or whatever. And that's where I remember first seeing it. But yeah, Shirley Temple was the original singer of it. Um, there's some other people that say that it was somebody else, but
1955 was when it actually was popular, I guess. It became a hit. But
that
yeah,
might have been when
five.
she sang it. It looks like too here that there was a Roy C. Bennett and Sid Temper who were the
Mhm.
actual composers of it.
Yeah, 6-year-old Barry Gordon as lead vocalist. Can you imagine
Hmm.
6 years old singing a song like that? But it was just fun, like making a friend eat a bug, hiding a frog in his sister's bed. Um,
Hmm.
according to the wiki page, two actual felonies, assaulting an acquaintance with a baseball bat to the head, using a counterfeit penny slug to buy gum. Okay, so I get, it's not great. Counterfeit money is definitely bad. Don't use slugs, friends. But
I broke
it's
my bat
still,
on Johnny's head.
yeah, right.
Oh my
And
gosh.
the kids loved it. They were laughing so hard. But like they started laughing during, and we kind of tried to keep them, in track here. And once it was done, they're like, "I love that song. That was amazing. I love it." I'm like, "Yeah, this worked out way better than I thought it would."
Do they know
Um,
Jingle Bells, Batman Smells? Do they know that one?
no, no, they'd not heard that one. They do now.
Oh,
They
my
do
kid,
now. But
my oldest loves
yeah,
hearing that.
yeah. And we sang "Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer."
Oh yeah.
And I have to say, that's a very redneck song. All right. The guy singing it's redneck, and I am redneck, and I loved it. And these guys were not ready. Let me tell you, they were not. And I'm like, have y'all never heard this song on the radio? That is not how
I
you sing it.
I
It's the
I
while the
enjoy that one.
goose is on the table. That's how he sang goose. And they all looked at me like I would lost my mind. I'm like, well, you listen to it. That's how it was performed by the original artist, friend. I'm being a
Yes.
purist for once in my life. I'm going to make
There you
sure
go.
but it was delightful and it was a really good time. It was a really rough day overall because I had to do 1,000 things that day, including running around, getting outfits, getting instruments, getting the kids from school early so we could get home and go buy shoes and then get back over to the house to drop Lizzie off and then back over to school to pick up the bass, go over to Carroll and then go over to the high school for our annual elementary school orchestra performance and
Man.
all of that. And Monday morning, my love, my dear, passionate heart of hearts comes up to me and says, I got a board meeting tonight and I can't be here at all. And I'm like, I love you.
Mm.
Because I guess this is why I'm here. This is why we have an at-home parent, is so that we have somebody that can handle all these things. But dang it, I needed some help.
Yeah.
It was rough. It was rough. So, and I will tell
Well,
you. Oh, go ahead.
yeah. No, no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I do want to whine a little bit. I want to complain a little bit about the woman I love, and I
Yeah.
think some of y'all get this because um, I think I've said this in the past. I'm a fairly naturally considerate person. I think about what other people want, need, and it's just that's where I move with my heart and not my brain. Literally, Marnie says, "What are you thinking about?" I'm like, "I'm not thinking about anything. What do you? I'm not thinking. I don't think. I'm just here. I do. I don't. I don't think." Right? And she's very cerebral and erudite, and just sits in her brain and has multiple pathways of thought going at one time. I can't even keep up with it. So we go shopping. It's the first of the month, and so we get paid first of the month. So we go over to Costco, and we're picking up some bulk stuff like cereal, whatever. So that it's much cheaper throughout a month's worth of spending. And we get finished, and there's their little snack bar, and I'm checking out, and she says, "I really kind of want a sundae. Those look really good." I'm like, "Yeah, they do look good." And she said, "But I can't. I only want like a bite or two." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't. I could not eat a whole sundae." Again, Ozempic, it does that. I'm like, "But I could get it." So she says, "Well, I'll get one, and we can share it." I'm like, "That's perfect. That's beautiful." And so I check out and I'm waiting on her and she comes walking back to me. And I want to tell you, Brock, and all our listeners, I have not eaten a strawberry in the entirety of the time that I've been with Marnie. I don't like strawberries. I really don't like berries in general. I don't like strawberry flavoring. I will eat like strawberry jelly if that's all you have, but I don't like it. I don't like the taste. I don't like the texture. Not a strawberry person at all. Never have been. And the love of my life, my moon and stars, walks up to me with a strawberry sundae. And I'm like, huh. And it's not just like strawberries on top where you can get to the ice cream underneath. No, it is layered with strawberry juice and stuff and syrup all through it. I'm like, is it good? She goes, oh God, it's so good. I'm like, cool, cool. All right, well, let's head on out to the car. And we get to the car and we're packing stuff up. And she finally stops. She goes, I could probably find you some that doesn't have strawberry in it. I'm like, no, it's good. There's nothing in that cup that doesn't have strawberry in it. No, thank you. No,
Hey, when
thank
you
you.
have a craving, you have a craving, man.
Right, right. And I'm like, yeah, we were going to share this. But I will say it really, I'm like, this is hilarious. This is just so um, unintentional, right? She would give me anything in the world. She loves me as much as I love her. And I know these things, right? But just that I'm like, at what point would you think that I'd want a strawberry in any form? I literally, I don't like berries. What are you doing? And it
See,
was
and
hilarious.
I would be in a place where the next time it's like, hey, do you want to get something to share? Are we really sharing it?
I am. I'm holding that. I will play that card, sir. I will play that card for sure.
Oh,
I'm
that
like,
is a
so
card that
I,
definitely sits like a gold bar in your back
when
pocket.
when you say share, what does that mean to
What
you?
does that
Because
mean
last
exactly?
time it was maybe I'll share my fries, but not give you any.
Or hey, I'll share this strawberry sundae with you, but actually I just wanted to show you that I got a strawberry sundae and I'm
Right.
just
Right.
sharing as in like show and tell.
And I will say again, Ozempic keeps you from wanting to eat these things. It is very difficult to eat. I had yesterday, by the end of the day, after everything else that was going on, I'd had 500 calories, maybe all day long. That's it. And I wasn't hungry. I mean, I felt weak. I felt like a little grumpy, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And I looked at my list of what I eat, and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't eat lunch because this happened, and then I didn't eat after because we had to go do this thing, and I had all this other stuff going." I'm like, "Oh crap! Well, I haven't eaten all day, and I don't care." If you'd said, "Do you want an ice cream sundae?" No, not really. Do you want a candy bar? No. Cake? No. I don't want anything. You want a pizza? Maybe, you know. And it's really, really weird. But she ate that entire Sunday,
Hey, man, I told
top to
you.
bottom. And I'm like, that was a good Sunday. She's like, God, it was so good. I mean, they really did it right. And it's soft serve ice cream. So it just all gets mixed in there. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like a strawberry shake, but just a little thicker, like almost like a strawberry frosty. And she's just going on and on. And I'm like, I'm very happy for you. And then she's like, "Oh, you didn't get any." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I didn't want any."
I feel like I experienced it. Your
Right?
description of it
You're
helped me
you're
to.
enjoying it enough for both of us. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's fun. It's hilarious. It's just
I
hilarious.
experienced it through you,
Yeah.
just
Gee,
not through me. It's okay.
yeah. Yep. I didn't get to
Oh my
taste
goodness.
any, but you're all right. But yeah, but back to I will say for
It
singing,
happens.
Silent Night is I agree, a beautiful song. And even before, like as a kid, I heard from people who also didn't celebrate Christmas like I did, or did not. They said, I know we're not supposed to listen to Christmas music, but this is a beautiful song.
Yeah,
And I wholeheartedly agree. And I don't think that I sing it well, but being able to stand out there in front of the Kroger and sing Silent Night with this group of boys who definitely sing worse than I do. So I got that going for me, right? I sounded good in comparison. That's probably going to be one of my top like two or three songs to sing, at least around Christmas. It
that's
just
awesome.
really, really just it feels so good, and it's such a it's not even somber. It's just soothing and calm.
Yeah.
I love
I
that.
think I feel like you would be a guy that would enjoy the Handel's Messiah performance stuff. I don't know if you've.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, I have a cousin who's a few years younger than me, and it was interesting. Like he was kind of always an awkward guy, but he was very artsy, and he was also like he loves performing arts and doing all kinds of different things, and so being around someone like that, sometimes you're like, okay, like you're just a little bit weird, but I can still hang with you, kind of deal. And he's definitely come into his own as an adult and whatnot. I saw him post. Someone posted these videos from him, but he performed in Handel's Messiah, and he's been doing that for quite a few years actually, but like progressively, like just seeing the different snippets from where I'd seen him a while back to now. Holy cow! Like talk about moving, like just emotionally moving. I was like, is that really him singing that? Like it was amazing, and but he's professionally trained. He's done a lot of different things like that. And I don't know, I really just appreciate a good, professionally trained singer who
Hmm.
can just belt out
Right.
that. And they do it at a church. They do it at my home church that I grew up in is a big Catholic church. And so
Hmm.
it's got, super high cathedral ceilings and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So the sound is amazing in there. And yeah, they're all dressed up in like tuxedos, and
Hmm.
the women are all dressed up in really nice dresses, and
Yeah.
they've got like an amazing small like orchestra or whatnot there. But yeah, this time of year just invokes sort of like that traditional side of things. There's
Hmm.
no other like you get a little bit of it at Easter time, but for the most part, like Christmas is like this just big. It's just a big thing, and
Hmm.
there's a whole like there's a whole other side to like where Christmas came from and everything else. That's a whole nother show. We won't even
Yeah.
open that can of worms. But
That'd be good.
yep, yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine.
We won't get into that. If you want to, go right ahead. It's definitely intriguing, for sure. But yeah, I mean, this time of year is always interesting. Like we've said before, it's got its own mixed bag of emotions and things like
Hmm.
that. But I think, if anything, what I believe we're getting to in this with just this episode on music is just the idea of like finding out like what you enjoy, what helps you get through this time of year because sometimes it is just like how do I get through, like
Hmm.
that kind of deal. And finding those ways to stay sane or
Hmm.
happy or
Happy,
yeah, or whatever that, anything
calm, maybe. Yeah.
positive, yeah,
Uh-huh.
like all that kind of stuff. Like, what does that look like for you? And so, hopefully, maybe like this kind of helped jar some things in that for you. But
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. There's so many different Christmas songs out there and so
Yeah.
many different
Yeah.
genres as well, and
And,
both novelty and traditional along the board.
and I want to hear from our listeners what their favorite
Yeah.
songs are really, because one, like you mentioned the playlist, I'm like, oh, I'm going to put that on, tonight probably, and I'm going to listen to that. And it's that experience that someone else has and how much they love it and their passion and joy for it. And you share that with us. Y'all listening, I want to hear what your songs are. I really do, because I want to put them into my life.
Heck yeah.
There may be songs I've never heard of or songs like playlists that I'm not aware of. And just the fact that why does that song hit you like it does? You know?
Yep, definitely. Well, hey, we're going to end this episode, and the next episode we'll have is going to be on Christmas movies, and I
We're
think that that'll be just as intriguing as this
not going
episode
to
was.
argue. We're not going to
Oh,
argue.
no,
Probably.
Die Hard is going to come up. You know it's going to come up. Also, too, Gremlins. Is Gremlins a Christmas music, a
Mm,
Christmas movie? We'll
mm.
find out on the next episode. We'll talk to y'all later.
Good night, everybody.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.